So as we discussed in the previous classes, okay, in starting class, in starting demo also, okay, I have explained this one. Okay, so if you want to learn Selenium Java, okay, first we have to learn Java. So then we can use Java part. Okay, so Selenium is available in 5 different languages. Any language you can use to perform the actions on the browser using Selenium. Or if you want to test some browser application, you can use any of these languages in Selenium. Okay, Selenium is a package. It's just a package. It is available in different formats: C Sharp, Ruby, Java, Python, JavaScript. There are 5 different languages. Based on the language, it has different packages. Okay, so we already discussed, we already proceeded with the Java package. Okay, for that we already ready with the Java content. So now we have to use the Selenium packages in our programming to interact with the browser. Okay, why we need to interact with the browser? Why this Selenium is required? Okay, basically Selenium is a package which gives some options to interact with the browser. To interact with the browser, how we are interacting with the browser manually. See, if I want to click this button, if I want to click this drop down, if I want to search something, if I want to change the website address, okay, how I am interacting with the browser. Similarly, through coding also we can interact with the browser. So those codes are available in, those coding is available in Selenium packages. Okay, if you want to interact with the Java type of coding in Selenium, yeah, you have Selenium Java. Similarly, Ruby, C Sharp, Python, and JavaScript. So now you have to download those packages. Okay, so in our Java, package is nothing but jar file. Okay, here also we are using in our Java sessions, we have used some packages. Okay, we also created some packages. Calculator package, new calculator package we have created, right? And also these packages, all these packages are for Excel operations. Somebody has implemented those, we are using in our programming. Similarly, Selenium also has some packages like jar files. Using those jar files, we can access the Selenium code. Using Selenium code, we can interact with the browser. Okay, so how manually we are interacting? In the similar way, through the coding also we can interact. Then why we need to interact with the browser? What is the importance of interacting with the browser? Suppose you are a tester, right? If you want to test something, so you have to interact with the browser, right? Suppose if you have a functionality that you want to check, by interacting with the browser, you will perform the testing. Okay, so in Selenium also, we interact with the browser, we perform the automation testing. So when you directly interacting with the mouse, okay, that is a manual testing. You are doing the testing manually. Manually you are clicking, manually you are searching, manually you are performing some operation. The same thing you can also perform through the coding. Okay, when you write your code, once you write your code, that you can use it for n number of times. Okay, recursively, 24/7, you have to, you can use that code. Okay, so what it will do, it will automatically open the browser. So by manually, no need to open like this. Okay, by the so the code itself, it will open the browser. Okay, whatever the action you want that you write in a coding format, that action it will perform. Okay, so how to like get that packages from the Selenium official website? See, Selenium Dev is a official website. Earlier it is Selenium HQ. Now they have changed it to selenium.dev. Okay, so here we have Java. Just click on directly. If you click on here, the version of Java is, the latest version of Java is 4.13.0. 4.13.0 is the latest version. Okay. So now I don't want to use the 4.13.0, but definitely I use this latest version. First, we have to learn with the old versions. Okay, then we will come to the new version. Okay, there are majorly two versions. Those also I will explain illustrately. So here, latest version I don't want to use. If you scroll down, here you can see Selenium 90 builds, nightly builds, no. Previous releases. Okay, so if you click on releases, see here you can see all the older versions, of Selenium. Okay, so Selenium older versions. So I want to use 3.141.59. Okay, so before releasing 4, we have 3.141.59. Almost 90%, 80 to 90% organizations are using still this version 3.141.59. They have not migrated to 4 version. Okay, there is a huge difference between 3.141.59 and also 4. Not much use, but the style is different. Okay, so I use 3.141.59 as of now. In the future classes, we can also migrate to 4. Okay, after done with a few classes, I will explain with the new version. There will be minor changes only, but advantages are more. Okay, so if you want to get this package, just expand it. Okay, so we are using Java, right? We are using Java. So we have to go with the Selenium Java 3.141.59 package. Okay, this we have to download. Just click on it. Yeah, so it is downloading. See, it is downloading to downloads. Okay, so let it be. So it will download. Okay, so before starting our coding part, okay, so those packages are for write the Java code, but we have to know the background of the Selenium. Okay, background, like, so how it is started initially and how it is now. Okay, how it is started initially and how it is now, we have to know. Okay, so let me explain this diagrammatically. So basically Selenium started with the like browser based program. Okay, browser based program, which means JavaScript only. It is started with the JavaScript basically. Okay, the first version they released as Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE. Okay, what is Selenium IDE? Selenium IDE is a browser add-in. Okay, so we have to interact with the browser, right? So Selenium IDE also a browser IDE. Okay, if you go to your browser add-ins, go to settings, search for add-ins. Okay, or search for, you should get some add-ins option, extension option. Yes, extensions. So here search for Selenium IDE. It is not giving anything. Huh? Okay. Okay. So if it is not showing anything, what you can do is, so from the official website, you can go to official website, and from here go to homepage or downloads. Wait. This is Selenium server. Yeah. So this is the Selenium IDE. Okay. So download the latest released version for Chrome. Chrome IDE. Firefox, Edge, Release. Okay, Chrome IDE. This IDE you can add it to your browser. In the browser itself, see now in the Chrome extensions, it is showing Selenium IDE. See, this is the extensions, Chrome extensions. Okay, when I directly search, it is not showing, but through the Selenium official website, when I go through it, it is showing. So now I can add this Selenium IDE to my Chrome. So it is asking, would you like to add extension? So it is added now. If you want to use, yes, you can write your Java program here, Selenium IDE. You can open. It is also opens a browser window. Okay. So it is asking create a new project name, some test. Okay. You can directly write your JavaScript program here. Okay. You can create some files and you can write your JavaScript program inside this file, inside this IDE. It is a Chrome. Okay. It is a Chrome, not a tool. It is a Chrome extension. Okay. So it is already added to the browser. It is there. It is easy to interact with the browser. Whatever the command we write, okay, it can directly interact with the browser. Okay, so initially they have implemented Selenium IDE, but this IDE we can use with only JavaScript, and also we have to use this IDE in the as a browser extension. We cannot write our program outside. Okay, outside of this IDE we cannot write. Okay, outside files we cannot integrate. There are some limitations. Okay, to avoid this dependency, browser extension dependency, so they have introduced one more version, Selenium RC, remote control, remote control. Selenium RC. Okay, in Selenium RC, so here you have to write your Java program inside a browser. Okay, browser add-in it is, browser add-in. It is a browser add-in. Coming to Selenium RC, you can implement your Java program. Sorry, you can implement your Selenium program. Okay, in any file. Okay, but here we can use any type of language. You can use Java, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, and also C#. You can use any type of programming file. Okay, you can use Java, C#, Python, Ruby, and JavaScript. But here it is only JavaScript. Because in browser based, you can only write, browser can understand only JavaScript. Okay. So now you can write your Selenium code in any of these formats. But if you want to interact with the browser with this code, okay, so in between there is a server. There is a server. Server you have to start. Server you have to start. The server name is called remote control server. It is a server based architecture. Okay, server you have to start. So basically we have different servers like Tomcat, Apache, like that, WebLogic, like that. There are so many servers. Okay, so if you want to interact with the browser, first we need to start the server, then this program will work. Again, it is dependent on server. This is dependent on server. Okay. So to interact with the browser, if you use the server, so our program control to server, from server to browser, again browser to server. So we have, okay, server based architecture also. 3-tier architecture generally we say. 3-tier architecture. Okay, it follows the 3-tier architecture. It is dependence on the Selenium RC server, remote control server. So before executing your program, so you have to start the remote control server. Then only you can interact with the like browser. Okay, here also there is a dependency, but later they have created one more version, that is Selenium WebDriver. Okay, to avoid these dependencies with improvements, Selenium WebDriver. Okay, you can write your program in any language, but here they have removed the dependency from the server. They have removed the dependency from server, but they have, so here no need to start any server. And also what happens is, if you use any server, it eats our RAM memory. Okay, it takes more memory for the RAM. Okay, your execution speed also it will decreases. That is one more main disadvantage with the Selenium report server. Whenever some server is involved, it takes more memory. Okay, so here they removed that dependency, server dependency, for the performance purpose. Okay, they have introduced, okay, webdriver.exe file, webdriver.exe file. Okay, so this exe file is a small file. It helps us to interact with the browser. Our code will interact with the browser with the help of WebDriver. So again, this WebDriver in the form of different types: Chrome, Firefox, iExplore, okay, like that, Safari, like that. This WebDriver.exe file. Okay, so basically for Chrome we call it as Chrome driver. For Firefox we call it as Gecko driver. For Internet Explorer we have a Explore driver. For Edge we have Edge driver, Safari driver, like that. We have driver files. So this WebDriver file, if we use, it will convert our Java program to this browser understandable language. Again, while fetching the data from the browser, it will convert to our Java understandable language. Okay, so from the Selenium WebDriver onwards, there are again some versions. There are some versions they have introduced from Selenium. Okay, so the most popular version is, so which we downloaded, 3.141.59 version. 3.141.59 version. Earlier, some other versions also, like 2.x. Okay, they have brought so many new changes. So again, from the 3.x version, okay, from 3.x version to 4.x version, what they done is, so if you want to use Selenium WebDriver, okay, you have to use webdriver.exe file. Okay, that you need to set up explicitly. Okay, how to set up also we'll discuss. Okay, instead of setting up this explicitly, along with Selenium package, they are also providing webdriver.exe. Okay, every time it will updates in the online. Okay, every time by default it will update. Okay, so for that we need to use some commands. So they have removed this dependency also from the Selenium WebDriver. So they have removed this dependency. Okay, removed webdriver.exe dependency. So in 4.x, no need to use this explicitly. By default, it will contain this WebDriver.exe. 4.x, not 4.x. So 4 dot some version, up to some version, some up to some 9.x version. Again, in the latest releases, in 4.12 release, so they have removed this complete WebDriver dependency. 4.12 version, they have removed complete WebDriver dependency. Okay, by default dependency also they have removed in 4.x. Okay, no need to use any WebDriver related exe file. WebDriver related exe file for your programming. No need of WebDriver.exe. Okay, like that the evaluation was happened. So one by one improvements, 2.3.x and 4.x, the differences. Okay, so in interviews they will ask you the questions. What are the differences between IDE, Selenium RC, and also Selenium WebDriver? And suppose if you use WebDriver, how will server always? It's very smart. Okay, it will easily convert your program to browser understandable language, and also it can easily convert from browser understandable language to our own language, whatever the language we are using. Okay, JavaScript you are directly writing the browser. Okay, it can directly interact. It is a separate IDE. But coming to WebDriver, how it will help us to interact with the browser through Java programming or any other language. Okay, so there is one protocol, JSON protocol. JSON protocol. Okay, so our statements will be converted into JSON format by WebDriver. Okay, so this JSON can easily understandable by your browser and your JavaScript. By default, browser uses JavaScript. Okay, suppose if you want to write some JavaScript program, okay, you can simply write in the browser itself. See, you can go to console. Suppose A equals to 100, B equals to 100. Okay, so now you can print A plus B, 200 it is printing up. If you want to write some for loop also you can write for int I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Okay. So here you can write console.log I. You can write the JavaScript program here. Okay. So what is this? Okay. So here it is asking to use let or where. Okay. Still we are getting the same console.I. Unexpected identifier. Why it is okay? So what we can do is here simply int I equal to 0. You can put. Still we are getting the same. Unexpected identifier console.log unexpected syntax error. Okay, so where is the syntax error here? Okay. So here the issue is we should not use int like that. Let. Okay, you already declared, no need to use. See, it is printed 0 to 4, right? So you can directly write your JavaScript program in the browser because by default JavaScript only controls the browser. Okay, so that time if you use the IDE, Selenium IDE with the JavaScript, okay, it can directly interact with the browser. Okay, if you want to click some button, suppose let me click some button, open Google. Okay, so here I want to click Google search button. If I click Google search button, uh, it is nothing happening. Let me click. I am feeling lucky. Okay, so this button is there, right? So if you want to click the I am feeling lucky button, you can directly write the JavaScript program here to click that button. Okay, so let me. Okay, this is the input. Okay, this is the button which has area label. I am feeling lucky. Value it has. Name is button I. Okay, let me check with this name equals to whether it is unique or not. I need to check. There are two buttons. Okay, no problem. You can use even though you have two buttons. Okay, using JavaScript, you can directly click that button. Okay, so we have one document. So this entire thing we call it as a document. This entire page in technically this entire page is we call it as document dot body dot get element by name get element, or you can directly use document dot get element by name elements and element by id. Okay, elements by name. So name is button I c dot length. You are getting two. Okay, so of one. See, if you want to click, simply dot click. See, it will navigate to the next page. See, it is navigating. So like that, you can write the JavaScript program to directly interact with the browser through the coding. Okay. So if you write in the IDE, okay, you can convert into modules, you can convert into different files like that. You can do. Okay, instead of writing in the console. Okay. So now, if you write in the other format, if you write your program in the other format, so here it will convert. It will convert your Java your JavaScript, your Java program, C# program, everything into JSON protocol. I mean JSON format. Okay, there are some APIs which uses JSON. What is JSON? It is a JavaScript object notation, which is also a useful for JavaScript. JavaScript object notation. Okay, your program will be converted into JSON object. Some APIs will interact with the browser. Those are again like a JavaScript. Okay, so we used to use the JSON protocol. Again, from 4.x version, they removed the dependency of JSON protocol because you are not using WebDriver. Why to use JSON protocol? That has been removed. Okay, so which uses JSON protocol. So now it is removed. JSON protocol also they have removed. Okay, this has been removed from the 4.x version. JSON protocol dependency is removed. Okay, so this is the basic understanding of Selenium, how it is started and how it is being here in the 4.12 version. So first we start with the 3.x version. In the 4.x version, there are no much differences. Okay, so initially I start with 3.141.59. Then we can discuss on the 4.x new features. There are new features also they have introduced when comparing with the 3.x version. Okay, any doubts in this architecture? Like not architecture, this is not architecture. It is just like a just version how it is changed from the beginning. Okay, so we have one more component. So basically, so these things we call it as components. IDE component, RC component, WebDriver component. Okay, this is IDE component. This is IDE component. This is remote control component. Components of Selenium. This is WebDriver component. Okay, similarly, we have one more component, that is Selenium grid. Okay, there is no, okay, it is not a, Selenium grid is not a like code or package to interact with the browser. It is a different one. Okay, we have one more component, that is grid component, Selenium grid. Selenium grid. Okay, so using which what you can do is, if you want to perform the cross browser testing or cross platform testing, cross platform means if you want to run your program, suppose you are using a Windows machine like me. Okay, so I'm using Windows machine. This is a Windows. Okay, so in our in our training, some people are using Mac. So, some people might use Linux, right? And also we have different browsers. So I'm using Chrome always. Some people might use Edge. Some people might use Internet Explorer. Similarly, some people might use this Firefox browser. So you want to test your application in different browsers at a time. How you can do? Whenever you perform the test, run test, it has to run on different browsers at a time. How you can set up that? So when you perform the testing, it has to run on the different operating systems. But you are using Windows, not only Windows. From the Windows only, you have to run in this Mac OS, Linux OS, or some other Android, any other OS if you want to perform. Okay, how we can perform? So for that configuration in Selenium for automation testing, so you have Selenium grid. Suppose if you want to run your run your automation scripts into different OS. This is, let's consider this is as a Windows, this is Mac, and this is Linux. Let's consider. Okay, using Git package, what you can do is you can create the virtual machines, virtual setup you can create like this. You can create virtual setup. It is a Windows. This is Windows. This is Mac. This is Linux. Okay, so here what you can do in this window machine, you can run in Chrome, you can run in the Mac, you can run in Safari, in Linux you can run on Firefox. Okay, here again you can create IE and Edge. Okay, so using Selenium grid, you can create the virtual machines. Okay, as per our requirement, and we can perform the cross browser testing, or we can perform in all operating systems. Okay, if all are using Chrome, if they using our application in Chrome in all three operating systems, so we can use Chrome in all operating systems and we can perform in the Chrome. Okay, like that. So we can create multiple operating systems, cross operating system we can create, architecture we can create. So in that OSS we can perform our testing. Okay, that is the use of Selenium grid. Okay, so very rarely we use because it is replaced with. So we can't say that is replacement. Okay, instead of using this, we have one more concept, Docker. Okay, Docker is also a similar kind of thing. We can use the different virtual machine with the help of Docker. Okay, in a single OS, you can use different OS in a single OS. Okay, Docker is replaced this part. Selenium grid is there. But if you want to create a new thing, that time we are not using new framework or new setup like this. We are not using grid because to integrate with the CI/CD pipeline, so Docker is very much feasible. Okay, so Docker is replaced. Okay, now this we won't be discussing in our classes. Okay, there will be no interview, no questions will be asked by interviewers. So the like basic understanding they will ask. Okay, what is the use of Selenium grid? You can simply explain like that. So we can create different virtual machines with different OS. So if you want to perform the cross operational system, operating system type of testing, so we can use the Selenium grid like that. Okay, so now we have Dockers. Using Dockers, it is very simple. Okay, is it clear? The background of Selenium. Okay, so
Yes,
now
Shiva.
yeah, so now we can use these versions. Okay, first I start with 3.x version, and then we can move to the 4.x version. Okay, so let me save this. So Java is already completed. So let me create one new folder, Selenium. A1. Here I want to show Selenium. I want to save as Selenium architecture. Save it. Okay. So now we already downloaded our packages, required packages. File wasn't on site. They have removed it. Oh my God. Okay, no problem. Okay, if you don't find this, not a problem. You can directly search in Google and you can download it from anywhere. Otherwise, I will provide this package because I already have in my locker. So go to downloads. So here I think I also removed it, but somewhere I can find these packages. Not a problem. Commands, Commons IO, Java client. No. Here also we don't have. Okay, let me check in other folder. Selenium jars. Okay, it is okay, Apache POI. Yeah, so earlier, so these are the jars we have to use in the Excel. Okay, for Selenium, these many are not required. Okay, somewhere I will find these again. Go to Selenium all. Not this one. Clips, drivers, jars. No. Okay, so let me check here only why we are getting the issue. File wasn't available on site, but somewhat it is trying to download. So let me go to Selenium official website. Okay, official website is Selenium Dev. So earlier it is Selenium HQ. So let me check whether we have that website or not. So they have removed Selenium HQ also. Okay, so here Selenium HQ, yes, Selenium HQ downloads. So again, it is navigating to Selenium dev only. So go to previous releases again, previous releases. So you can go to the 3.141.59 Selenium Java zip folder. So now it is downloaded. See. So okay, open it. So these are the jar files you require. So if you download 4.12x version, it will also give you like a zip folder. Just extract it. So extract files. Okay. So this is the folder has created. So inside that we can find client combined and client combined source. These two are required, and also libs folder we have 5 jar files: bytebuddy, commons, Goa, okay, HTTP, and OKIO. Okay, so these 7 jar files are required to work with the Selenium Java. Okay, so if you want to use in Selenium, okay, some code, some others code in Selenium, you have to add that code as a jar file. Okay, then only you can use it. So now let me create a sample file, I mean sample project. So let me close all these, close all. So now I'm creating a separate project. I'm creating separate project here. New project. Okay, so plain Java project only I will create. Then we'll move to Maven. Selenium hyphen Java hyphen. So like this, I'm creating the project name. Invalid module name is not a valid Java identifier. Okay. So when I create project, why it is not taking this name? Let me do one thing. Cancel it. File. New project. Again Java project. Next. Yeah. So it is not accepting hyphens. What I do is underscore it will accept. Okay, so here we are using Java 11. Okay, so while creating, you must see while using the new IDEs, Eclipse IDEs, by default it is using the 17 version, but use Java 11, Java S11. Okay, so no need to select any other things. Just click on finish. Okay, so it is associated with Java Prospective. Would you like to open that? Yes, Java Prospective one. Yes. So this is my project now. Okay, this module.info is not required. You can remove it, delete it. So now I want to use the Selenium library files, Selenium jar files. Selenium jar files I want to use. So where are these? These are the jar files I want to use in my program. Okay, what I do is here I create one folder, new folder. I want to create folder name as Selenium jars. Selenium jars. Finish it. In this Selenium jars, I will copy those jar files. Copy it. Paste here. There are 2 jar files. And also in lib folder, we have 5 jar files. These also I am copying to my. Yeah, so these are the jar files, available jars. So now you have to use these jar files in your Java program. So what you have to do is, so right click on your project, go to build path, configure build path. Then you have library section, click over there, select class path. So here you have two options, add jars from external. External means outside of this project. Okay, and also you have add jars. So this add jars is to select the jar files from your project. Okay, we already copied jar files to our project. So I will use this option, add jars. Here in Selenium jar, I have around 7 jar files. Click OK. So these jar files are coming into the class path. Then apply and close. Okay, in my reference libraries, now I have Selenium jar files. I can use in my programming. So here you just created a folder. Okay, there you are copied your jar files, but to use your programming, so you have to add it to your build path. Then only it can identify those files. So now I create one package in SRC. Okay, so the package name is Selenium demo, Selenium.demo. Okay, if we have two names, what we have to do? We have to separate with dot. So now inside this Selenium test, I'm creating the class name as Selenium test. Selenium test. Okay, I want main method also, public only, Selenium test. Finish. So how I have to start the Selenium coding? I mean, what are the things I have to start? Okay, so as we discussed here, so why we are writing Java program to interact with the browser. Okay, so now we are using 3.141.59 version, right? So we must use WebDriver file to interact with the browser. We must use WebDriver file to interact with the browser. Otherwise, we cannot interact with the browser with our coding. Okay, so again, this WebDriver dependency .exe dependency also is there. So what we have to do is, first you have to go to your settings, and here you have help, right? Click on about Google Chrome. So your version is, your current browser version is 117. So what you have to do is, you have to get that browser version related Chrome driver file, because we can have different Chrome browser versions. Okay, for each browser version, they will create a separate driver file. Okay, now search for Chrome driver for Chrome version 117. This. So we have official website. Okay, chromedriver.chromium.org. Go there. First website only. So here up to 114 only we have. Okay, if you observe here, if you are using Chrome version 115 or newer, please consult the Chrome for testing availability dashboard. This page provides convenient JSON endpoints for specific Chrome driver version. Okay, so let me go to this dashboard, what it is saying. Yeah, so here, see, you have stable version 117. Okay, you can open it. So it will give you the links to download. Okay, Chrome for Linux, Chrome for Mac, Chrome for Windows 64 or 32. I want 32 machine. Just copy this path. If you paste it here, it will automatically download that zip file. Okay, so up to Chrome 115 only, 114 only, we have the direct download. If you open here, okay, you can see direct download. Here you can download Chrome driver Win32 zip. But for 117, from 116, 117 and 115, okay, so they still didn't like implement this part, didn't add. They are giving the third party website URLs to get the browsers. Okay, so it is downloaded now. So I can find in the downloads. So go to downloads. Yeah, so this is the Chrome driver. What I do is just I will extract it. Okay, it is a exe file basically. Okay, it is a exe file. Open it. So here you can find .exe file, chrome.exe file, chrome driver.exe file. You must have that.
Shiva,
Yes.
Shiva, sorry, I think you have downloaded Chrome file, Shiva. We need to download Chrome driver.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Maybe.
No, no, here only. Scroll down,
Oh,
see.
yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. So I have downloaded some
Chrome file, yes.
Chrome 117. We must download the Chrome driver. Yes. Yes.
Chrome driver, yes.
You didn't check that. Yes. Yes. You are correct. Okay. Let me download it. So go to downloads. That is the reason I was trying to check where is the Chrome
Chrome
driver.exe.
driver, yes, yes.
Okay. So here it is downloaded Chrome driver. So extract it. Click OK. See, you can find Chrome driver.exe file. What I do is I just copy this. So where is copy option? So in my project, I create one more folder, Chrome drivers. So new folder, Chrome drivers. So here I will paste that driver. Okay, now I have Chrome driver and also my Selenium jars. Selenium jars I already added to my project. I mean in the build path. So now I have to use the Chrome driver before interacting with the browser. I have to use the Chrome driver. Okay. So see, so earlier also we have used one command. If you want to get the current directory, current project directory path, what is the command we have? System dot get property, system dot get property, user dir, user directory, user dot directory. If you use this command, what it will give? It gives the current directory path. So let me print it. See current directory path. Okay, let it be. Okay, let it be. Okay. So now what I do is I want to interact with the browser, with the Chrome browser. What we have to do is if you want to interact with the Chrome browser, we have Chrome related class. If you want to interact with the Firefox browser, we have Firefox related classes. Similarly for Edge, iExplore, Safari, we have different classes based on the browser name. So I want to interact with the browser. So what we have to do is we have to create a object for Chrome related classes. Okay. So we have one class Chrome driver class. Okay. So inside this Chrome driver, we have so many methods to interact with the browser. Inside this Chrome driver and its parent classes and its parent interfaces, we have so many methods to interact with the browser. Okay. So now what I can do, if I want, I can store this object, some driver, let me make it as driver. I can store this, I can give the type as Chrome driver to my driver variable. But the thing is, there is so much hierarchy. Okay, so parent classes and its parent and sister classes, there are so many classes available in the hierarchy. So let me open one diagram. Okay, so by looking at that diagram, you have to suggest me, okay, what type I have to assign. So let me go to Selenium all and its material. Selenium screenshots. Okay, so here I will show you one diagram. Okay, by looking at this diagram, you have to suggest me what type I have to assign to the Chrome driver object. See, so this is the architecture basically. Okay, these many classes are involved in the Selenium classes. Okay, so the least classes are Chrome driver, IE driver, Firefox driver, Opera, Safari drivers. Okay, Edge also nowadays added. Okay, I want to use get method. Okay, get method is not available in Chrome driver class. It is available in its parent's WebDriver interface. Okay, you want to use the get method or you want to use the navigate method. Okay, so how you will create the object? This is a WebDriver. It is a interface. For interface, you cannot create the object that we have seen in the Java part. Okay, so in the child class, we have one more class, remote WebDriver, and under that remote WebDriver, we have like different classes. Okay, that is Chrome driver, IE driver, Firefox, Safari, and Opera. I want to call this get method. Okay, how I can call this get method? How we can call this get method? To which class we have to create the object, and to which type we have to assign, and from where we have to call. This we have discussed in our Java class. Okay, upcasting and downcasting part we have discussed. Okay, so here my get method is available in WebDriver. Okay, my get method is available in WebDriver. So import this WebDriver. It is available in Selenium, Opera Selenium, OpenQA Selenium. Now I cannot create object. If I want to create the object for my WebDriver, I cannot create it. Why? It is an interface. You cannot create it. Again, you have one more option. You can implement the methods. You have to write the logic for those methods. But what to write, you don't know. Okay. But here, if you observe, it has some child class that is remote WebDriver. Okay, let me try to create object for remote WebDriver. Remote WebDriver. Okay, so it is asking for the constructor remote WebDriver not visible. It is a public private constructor. Okay, and again you are unable to create object for your remote WebDriver because it has a private constructor. Okay, so here let me show you one thing. So let me go to inheritance. There is inheritance. Yeah, here. So you have college. For college, you have student, like that we have, right? Okay, so here let me go to some student. Here we created new college. New college, right? We created new college. Object we have created for the college. Let me go to college. Let me create some constructor. So this constructor, I will make it as private. See, in the student class, immediately you are getting the error because you cannot create the object for your college class if you make the constructor as private. Okay, this is also one of the interview questions. From Selenium, they will ask. Okay, so can we create the object for remote WebDriver or not? Simply they will ask. Okay, as per your understanding and knowledge, it is a class. You blindly say that yes, we can create because it is a class. You will say that yes, it is a class means we can create the object. Like that, you will give the answer. But remote WebDriver is a class, but it has private constructor. That is the reason you cannot create the object for your remote WebDriver class. Okay, what you have to do then go to its subclass. What are the subclasses you have? you can create object for your Chrome driver, or you can create for any other drivers. I mean, any other browser. My requirement is Chrome drive. I mean, Chrome browser I want to use. So what I can do is I can create new Chrome driver. New Chrome driver. It will not give you the error because it has public constructor and also it is a class. You can create the object and you can store to your parent interface. This is called upcasting. That's why I have explained upcasting in Java. Okay, let me comment this. Okay. So, and also you are unable to extend this also whenever it has private. But how it is extended in Chrome? So here, implicit super constructor in college is not visible for default constructor. Must define an explicit constructor. It is asking to explicitly define the other constructor. Okay, let me remove it from the college. Control Z. Okay, so let it be. Remove it. Okay, now. So now you have WebDriver equals new Chrome driver. This is also one question. Why we need to do that? This is a upcasting, simple upcasting. So if you observe our previous class, upcasting and downcasting, okay, where we have used, I think we have used in inheritance only. Where polymorphism, no, somewhere we have created upcasting and downcasting interfaces, maybe abstraction classes, abstraction. Here is not there interfaces. So somewhere we have created upcasting and downcasting classes. Okay, so yeah, so in abstraction only basically we have used it seems. Okay, so go to access abstract class, access partial abstraction class. Okay, so here we have used, it is a parent interface. It is a child class. Similarly, if you go to interface example, so this full abstraction is a parent class interface. For that, we have implemented some, in between we have implemented some class. But for accessing, we have given one more class that we have used in the data access, some data access class. Okay. So here we have used upcasting and downcasting. Okay, access abstract class. See, here we have provided, this is something else. Okay, here we have created this upcasting and downcasting process. See here upcasting. This is upcasting. This one is upcasting. Downcasting, like that we have performed. Okay, so we have separate class also for that in Java. If you don't understand this format, here you can go through that. Okay, so let me show you that in YouTube. Okay, let me go to this channel. So here you can find that class. So go to your videos. So somewhere I have explained upcasting and downcasting clearly. See this part. Upcasting and downcasting and abstract classes. Okay, if you don't understand this format, once again go through this video. Okay, date all video. Okay, why we need to use this format? Okay, so now in WebDriver interface, I have methods. Okay, those I want to use. That is the reason I created this object. Okay, if I want to use some other class, suppose if I want to use JavaScript executor class methods, what I have to do? I have to assign this Chrome driver object to JavaScript executor, like JavaScript executor. JavaScript executor, JSE. Okay, now we already created the object. Again, you should not create the new object. Okay, you can assign this driver object to this, but it is a parent class of this JavaScript executor. Just use the downcasting format. This is also we have discussed. If you want to take the screenshot, take screenshot. Again, downcast it. This driver object, downcast it. Okay, upcasting and downcasting, we have discussed. So there, I have provided the examples also. If you don't understand it, again go through it. Again, remote WebDriver. Yes, remote WebDriver. You can assign driver. Again, it is also a downcasting. Downcast it. Okay, like that. You can convert. You have to create only one object that you have to convert using upcasting and downcasting. Okay, so now we already created, but why I have sent to this WebDriver interface? Because my initial required methods, what are all the required methods I want to use initially, those are available in WebDriver class. So here I want to use get method initially and also navigate method initially. Okay, so these methods are available in WebDriver interface. That is the reason I directly assign my child class object to my parent interface WebDriver. Now, if you want to open the browser, your driver dot, okay, inside this WebDriver class, okay, what happens if you use WebDriver? Your compiler directly go to this interface, it checks whether that method is available or not. Okay, I want to use get method. Okay, using get method, what we can do is we can navigate to any browser. Any browser we can navigate. Okay, I want to navigate to Google. I want to navigate to Google. Okay, so suppose if you use this statement, what happens is, or I don't want to use this statement. So let me execute this one, Chrome driver instance, creation of instance. Let me use. If I run it, so immediately I'm getting the error. Okay, by default, when you use this new Chrome driver, inside this Chrome driver, okay, the default constructor, it performs one operation. It opens one browser. If you go to this, see, this is we are unable to see the code. Okay, they have provided only class files. We are unable to see what is there inside that class. See, so here when you call this method new Chrome driver constructor, inside the constructor by default the code is written like, to open the browser they have written one code, but inside this constructor by default it uses one property. Okay, the property name is so here it will display illegal state exception. We are getting illegal state exception. The path of the driver executable must be hello. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, Shiva. Yes, Shiva.
Okay, by default, it using system dot, okay, this system dot get property. It is looking for this property value. Okay, so let me print this what we are getting. What we are getting, let me print this, run it. See, we are getting null. Okay, so here we are getting null. That is the reason it is unable to identify this particular WebDriver Chrome driver path, and it is unable to find that WebDriver exe file. Okay, so by default, your Chrome constructor uses this property to identify the Chrome driver file, Chrome driver.exe file. So what we have to do is we have to set that property. Okay, so how we have to set system dot set property. Okay, set property only, not properties, property. Okay, here you have to pass two values to set the property. Okay, what is we have to set? You have to give the name as property name as this particular path, and a value, your Chrome driver path value, Chrome driver path. So Chrome driver is available in Chrome drivers folder. So using system.get property till where we are getting the path up to Selenium Java September 2023, up to this project level, where it is up to this project level we are getting. It is inside this folder, Chrome drivers. Let me copy, just rename and copy. I'm copying it. Okay, after Selenium Java September 2023, what I have to do is plus / my folder name and also my file name. My file name is Chrome driver.exe. So now if you print this property, what happens is this entire path will be printed. Okay, let me run it, and also this error you will not get. Let me run it. See, path is printed, and also it will open the browser. See, browser also it is opened. It is taking time. In my machine, it takes a lot of time. It just open the browser. Okay, no website is opened here till now. If you want to open some website in this browser, what you have to do is you have to use the get method. Okay, I want to open this browser and I want to go to this www.google.com. Okay, so now if I run again it will open one more browser. It won't work on the existing browser. So let me open. It opens the Google now. So it is taking a little bit time in my machine. So in your machine, it works faster. I have set some security rules for my browser. Okay, that is the reason while executing from the third party code, it takes a lot of time for in my machine. So it is open the Google. See, if you want to close the browser after opening, okay, so you can simply use driver.close. You can simply use. Okay, by default, it is not opening any browser. So let me run it. It opens the browser, it opens the Google, and it will close the browser. it opens Google, then it will directly close the browser. So if you want to navigate to the browser, we have one more method, one more type of method. Okay, instead of using get, we can also use, so it is open and also it will close once it is loaded fully. So still it is loading, right? So once it is loaded fully, it is closing the browser. So we have one more method. We have one more method, that is navigate method. Driver dot navigate. Okay, so navigate method, it is not accepting anything. Okay, so here to navigate to URL you have to provide. Which URL you want to navigate? You want to navigate to this URL. Okay, let me run it. So it will navigate to the google.com, then it closes the browser. So it is open the Google, then it will close the browser once it is fully loaded. See. So what is the difference then? Why we have two methods? Okay, why we have two methods? What is the difference then? Okay, difference I will explain later. So you need some basic knowledge to understand the difference between navigate and get. For navigate and get, there is some like not huge difference. There are some like comment. There are some comments we have to navigate back, navigate forward. If you want to use those comments, you have to open browser with navigate method. Using get, you cannot navigate forward or backward. So when we open any browser, so let's take this browser. So if you want to go back, you have backward button. If you want to forward, you have forward button, right? If you want to control these buttons, so you have to open your browser using navigate method. Using get, you will not get those options. So here, what you can do is using navigate dot back. If you use back, it will go back. If you use forward, it will go move forward like that. Okay. So now, when we open the browser, it is opening in a minimize mode. So let me run it again. See, it is in a minimize mode. If you want to maximize, you have to click manually, right? If you want to maximize. But here, we should not interact manually while our automation script is executing. We should not interact manually. Manual interaction should not be performed while executing through the automation. So how you can maximize the browser? Again, we have some methods to maximize. So using those options, we can maximize. Okay, it is opened, then it will close once it is loaded. Yeah. So to maximize the browser, in the driver class dot, we have driver dot, we have manage method. Okay, if you observe here, manage method is returning options class object. What it is returning? Options class object. Okay, select it. Okay, from the in the options class, we have one method, window method. Again, this window method is returning window class object. In the window class, we have method maximize method. It is not returning any object. It is returning void. Okay, so this is called chaining of methods. We have already discussed it. Chaining of methods also we already discussed in Java. Okay, if you don't understand how we are calling one by one method, you can simply go to YouTube here you can find chaining of methods. See, chaining of methods I have explained on day 9. You can go through it. Okay, how this we are performing, how we are calling one by one method. Okay, now I will open the Google, I will maximize the browser, then I will close it. Similarly, maximize, we have also minimize. See, it is maximized and it is closed immediately. Okay, if you want to stop execution for 5 seconds, stop execution for 5 seconds, we have one class, the class name is thread. Thread. It is a Java thread. Thread.sleep. So I think while explaining string buffer, I have explained, I think. So when we run any program, backend some threads will be execute our Java program. Okay. So here only one thread. When you are not using multi-thread concept, only one thread will be worked in the backend. That the thread you are trying to sleep. Okay. So you are giving the instruction sleep means wait for 5 seconds. It won't execute your program. So 5000 milliseconds means 5 seconds. Okay, by default, it throws some exception. So you have to handle it declaration, throws declaration. Okay, now it will wait for 5 seconds, then it will close the browser. So it will maximize the browser, then wait for 5 seconds, then it will close the browser. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we have used upcasting concept, and also we have used methods chaining of methods concept. Okay. So if you want to open browser, if you want to open some URL, so you have to use the get method or navigate method. If you want to maximize, you have to use this syntax. And waiting for some time, you have to use thread.sleep, then closing the browser driver.close. Okay, this is enough for today. So tomorrow, so we will start automating some application. Okay, the real-time scenarios, I will cover all the real-time scenarios. So let me stop recording.